Dear students, good morning to all. I am happy to welcome you to join the e-learning class of 9th standard geography, the unit 1 lithosphere, that is endogenic process. Okay, so we will go to learn the concepts of this lesson. Is first one is to know about the sphere of the earth. Spheres, that's you know very well. That is 4 spheres are available. That is lithosphere, and then hydrosphere, and then atmosphere, and then biosphere. Second one, to illustrate the internal structure of the earth. That's already you have studied something from previous classes for that. We will briefly explain that. To study the rock pipes and its cycle, to explain the internal process of the earth. Okay, what will happen, what it goes to do for that, to understand the process of earthquakes and the volcanoes. We will explain one by one. Come to the introduction. That is, so you know very well, Earth is an important planet, I mean the very unique planet of the solar family. See, this consists of, or it contains 4 spheres, namely, I already told you, lithosphere, atmosphere, hydrosphere and biosphere. Okay, see this lesson focuses mostly for the internal process of the earth. The sequence of this lesson generally follows the spheres of the earth system in a wide manner or the comprehensive manner. Okay, have you ever wondered what our earth is made up of? Okay, it's just a simple GK question to you. Or what lies underneath of the earth's surface further? Maybe the answer is, the earth can physically be described as a ball of rock, that is lithosphere. Okay, that is lithosphere. Partly covered by water, which is called as hydrosphere. That's you know very well, lithosphere, land, hydrosphere, water, and wrapped in envelope of the air, which is called as atmosphere. These 3 physical zones, it what is that? Connect to a biological zone which includes all the living organism, which is called as biosphere. That's you know very well. That is biosphere, which is equal to atmosphere plus lithosphere plus what is that? Hydrosphere. Okay. Come, we will go to explain the first concept of space of the earth. Earth's surface is a vast area. That's you know very well. It's a vast, biggest area. It contains of 510 million square kilometer, where 4 spheres of the earth interact further. The abiotic spheres are the lithosphere, atmosphere and hydrosphere, and then biotic sphere, abiotic and biotic. I mean the living thing, non-living things, I think so. Isn't it okay? Biotic sphere is the biosphere. Together these spheres constitute the planet Earth. Okay. First of all, the topic lithosphere has been bifurcated for the role of what is that? Convenience. It is divided into endogenic process and exogenic process. Dear students, basically the meaning of endogenic process and exogenic process is nothing but endogenic. What are the process which is happening or which has happened interior of the earth is called as what is that? Endogenic. Okay. Exogenic is nothing but out of the focus or out of the area. That is called as exogenic. One is the internal process, another is what is the external process. So this lesson deals with the endogenic process in detail. Okay, we will discuss for the next topic, for the next lessons for that. Lithosphere. See, what is lithosphere? Lithosphere is the solid outer part of the earth. Okay, and then atmosphere. Atmosphere is a thin layer of gases that surrounds the earth. Hydrosphere is the watery part of the earth's surface, including oceans, rivers, lakes and water vapor. Okay, biosphere is the layer of earth where life exists further. Okay. Now first one is the first topic that should go for the structure of the earth. I mean what are the parts that contains for the structure of the earth for that. The outer surface and the inner core of the earth are totally different in their nature and their structure. Okay. Yes. The structure of the earth interior is divided into 3 layers, namely crust, mantle and core. See children, here namely core, crust, other one is the mantle. Okay, core, crust, mantle. First one we will go to discuss about the concept is what is that? Crust. See, it is the outer layer of the earth. First one is the crust is the outer layer of the earth where we live. Where we are living? The answer is where is that? In the crust. I mean that is the outer layer. We are living for what is the outer layer. So it is the skin of our earth which ranges between 5 to 30 km. Dear students, actually we have the surface from the surface area to the depth of 30 km. That's the area of the what is the crust. It is a solid and a right layer. It's a solid and right layer of the earth. The thickness of the crust is greater below the continents than the ocean floor. Okay. The crust is classified into two types. One is called as continental crust and then the oceanic crust. Okay. Continental crust and then the oceanic crust. See, the major elements of the crust are silica, that is Si, aluminium, which is described or termed as a Cl, I mean SiAl. Okay. Next one is the mantle. Next one is what is that? Mantle. I mean the second part is called as mantle. The interior part beneath the crust is called mantle, which is about 2900 km thick. The major elements of the mantle are silica and magnesium. There, silica and aluminium. Here there is silica and magnesium, and hence it is also termed as referred as SIMA, that is SiMb. The upper part of the mantle, the rock remains solid, whereas in the lower part of the mantle, rocks are in molten form. Okay, so the molten rock inside the earth is called magma. The third part that goes to core. The core is the innermost and hottest layer of the earth. Core is the innermost and hottest layer of the earth, which lies below the mantle. It contains mainly of nickel and iron. See, gentlemen, students, first you know very well Cr and Sima. Next one is what is that? NiFe. That stands for Ni means nickel and Fe means that is iron. That is nickel and iron. That's called as NiFe. The core is divided into solid inner core and then liquid outer core. Okay. The presence of large quantities of iron in the core is responsible for the Earth's gravitational force for them. Okay, keep in mind. So as the Earth rotates on its axis, the liquid outer core spins over the solid inner core and generates the Earth's magnetic field. Okay, this is responsible for the functioning of the magnetic compass. Due to the high pressure, the materials, the inner core are unable to. Okay, dear students, once again I want to recall the topic which you learned now. That is, I already told you, it's a topic of endogenetic process. In the endogenetic process, we are in the class of lithosphere. Actually, the 4 spheres are available for that. I already told you, lithosphere, atmosphere, hydrosphere and biosphere. Okay, these are the 4 spheres for that. Lithosphere, which is nothing but land, and hydrosphere, which is nothing but water, and atmosphere, which is nothing but air. So biosphere is equal to, that is the planet actually that's used to do living. All the living things are available for that, which is called as, together is called as all the lithosphere, I mean the lithosphere plus atmosphere plus hydrosphere, which is equal to biosphere. Okay, so from the lithosphere, which is nothing but land. So what about the structure of the lithosphere, the structure of the land? We are seeing that, I mean the structure of the earth. It contains or it consists of the 3 parts. I already told you 3 parts. First one is the crust, next one is mantle, and third one is what is that? Core. Okay, crust, mantle and core. See, crust, which is called as, it is the outermost layer of the earth. I already told you, it is the outermost layer of the earth. See, it contains of actually from the surface to 5 to 30 km depth further, right? 5 to 30 km depth further. It is the solid and rigid layer, right? See, the minerals which contains or consists of the crust is 2 items mainly. That is, one is Si and next one is Al, which stands for silicon and aluminium, right? Silicon and aluminium together is called as a SiAl, right? Next one goes to mantle, and it contains of nearly for 2900 km thickness further. It's the second part for that, right? After that, next to the crust, okay, next to the crust goes for nearly for 2900 km thickness further. See, it contains or it consists of the 2 minerals familiarly that is available. One is silicon, another one is magnesium. Okay, that is Cl, silicon and magnesium, which is called as SIMA. And then the third part which goes to core. It is the last layer, or it's the third layer of the earth. This is nothing but, it is the innermost layer of the earth, as well as the hottest layer of the earth also. Innermost as well as what is the hottest layer of the earth also. See, this below the mantle, I mean what is that? Below the, I mean the 2900 km below that. Okay, it is available for that. So it contains 2 minerals as usual, just we are seeing for the crust and mantle, no, same thing. It also contains or consists of 2 kinds of minerals for that. One is iron, so I mean the nickel, and next one is what is that? Iron. I mean nickel, and what is that? Iron, NiFe. Okay, these things are important for that. Next heading is rocks. See students, next heading goes to rocks. See, actually the crust is a storehouse of rocks. Okay, crust is a storehouse of rocks. An aggregate of minerals of the earth crust is called as rock. Okay, it may be hard and compact like granite or salt or soft clay, okay, or loose as soil. Okay, three types of rocks are available for that. First one is igneous rocks, next one is sedimentary rocks, and the third one is metamorphic rocks. Three types of rocks is there. First one is igneous, right? The word igneous is a Latin word. It's a Latin word. Okay, it is derived from the Latin word. That word contains of ignis. Ignis means ignition. Okay, igneous means fire, right? Fire. It contains the hot molten liquid, isn't it? Okay, which is inside the rock is called as a magma. Hot molten liquid. Okay, material which is called as magma. See, the magma, it comes out from the rock surface. Okay, or goes out or comes out from the rock surface, which is solidifies. That is called as lava, right? Inside the earth, it's a liquid which is called as magma, right? But if it comes out from the rocks outer surface and it goes to spread for the area, which is called as what is that? Lava. It is liquid, it is solid, right? And then for the example of the igneous rocks is nothing but maybe granite, and then what is it? Basalt. Types of the rocks is called as. See, it is called as primary rock, or it is called as mother rocks, because all the other types of rocks is derived from only for igneous rocks only for that. Okay. Then, yeah, the second topic is, the second type is sedimentary rock. The sedimentary rocks are named after the Latin word which means settlement. That means settle. Okay. See, the river, glacier and winds carry the bits of rocks further. Okay. And deposited in the layer. Okay. And the deposits of these bits or the deposits of these sediments that has formed a few million years after further. Few million years after that goes to form the what is that? Sedimentary rocks actually. Okay. And then see, for the example, best example is fossils, right? The buried animals, plants, leaves, isn't it? Okay. That has to be buried inside the earth for that. After a long period, that should be formed as the what is that? Sedimentary rocks for that. And then sandstone, okay, limestone, gypsum, and then coal, and finally conglomerate. That means that's a type of round and stones type of rocks for that. Maybe the example is pebbles and gravels for that, right? The third one is metamorphic rocks. Okay, the term metamorphic is derived from the word metamorphosis, which means that is change of form. Okay, it is a change of form. When igneous and sedimentary rocks are subjected to extreme heat and pressure, okay, extreme heat and pressure, that undergo a complete change in their form and character. Okay, in course of time, that is granite may be transformed to gneiss. Okay, see here, granite is changed to gneiss. The very nice stone for that. Basalt is changed to schist. Okay, and then limestone is changed to marble, and then sandstone is changed to quartz. These are the forms of the changes of the what is that? Metamorphic rocks actually. Okay, these are the three types of rocks for that. Once again, just I want to recall you. There are three types of rocks for that. First one is igneous rocks, second one is sedimentary rocks, and the third one is metamorphic rocks. Igneous means what I told you. This is the which is derived from the word of ignis, or which is called as fire, right? It is a Latin word. It is the primary rock, or it is the mother parent rock or the mother rock. From this rock only all other rocks are derived for that. See, inside the rocks, that is a liquid, hot and liquid molten liquid is called as magma. It comes out from the rock surface, which is called as lava, right? Example is granite and basalt. It is a primary rock, I already told you. Second one is a sedimentary rock. Sedimentary rock is derived from the primary rock, okay, because it should be deposited by using the winds or the rivers or the glaciers further, right? By using the rivers or the winds, that is glaciers, that should go to deposit the sediments for that. That sediments are formed after a few million of years. That should go to form the what is that? Sedimentary rocks for that. That's we deposit the layer after the few million years. Example is fossils and sandstone and limestone and gypsum and coal and what is that? conglomerate. And the third one is the metamorphic rocks, that is change of its original form further. Okay, change of its original form to another form further, right? That is metamorphic rocks, which is called as metamorphosis, change of its original form to another form further, complete change of size or the character. It is derived from the various sedimentary rocks for that. The example is granite is changed into gneiss, which is nothing but a soft or the very nice stone for that. Next one is basalt to schist, and the limestone is changed into marble, sandstone and quartz. Okay. The next heading is rock cycle. The rock cycle is a continuous process through which igneous, sedimentary and metamorphic rocks are transformed from one form to another. Okay. Next one is a geomorphic process. Geomorphic process, I mean geographical process. The formation and deformation of landforms on the surface of the earth is continuous activity of two broad processes. That is, first one is internal and next one is external. See, these processes cause stress and deformation on earth materials, and finally it brought the changes on the surface of the earth. These are referred as geomorphic process. Okay. The forces that act from the earth's interior towards the earth's surface are called internal process. I mean, once again, the forces that act from the earth's interior towards the earth's surface are called internal process or endogenetic process. See, these forces build the landscape and create the topographic relief. Topography is nothing but structure of the land. Okay. Relief is nothing but release. The forces that act on the surface of the earth due to the natural agents like running water, glacier, wind, waves, etc. are called external process or exogenetic process. This external process tear the landscape down into relatively low elevated plains. Okay. So there are two processes, one is internal, another is external. Come to the first one is the internal process. The internal process generate heat and eject materials from deep below the earth's crust. Okay. Internal radioactivity is the principal source of power for this process. There we will go to discuss one more main topic is plate tectonics. I mean the movement of the plate or the shape and size and structure of the plate for that. The lithosphere, I already told you, lithosphere is nothing but land. Okay. The lithosphere is divided into a number of huge slabs of rocks called tectonic plates. These tectonic plates are divided into major plates and minor plates. These plates float independently over the mantle. Collisions, I mean confusion, okay, or dashing, or accidents of these plates produce mountain ranges and other irregular surface features both on land and other ocean floor. This event, I mean this phenomena is called the plate tectonics. The movement of tectonic plates is due to the thermal energy from the mantle. Now we have a better understanding about the plate movements and its relation to the earthquake and volcanic activity. Okay. Next one is types of plate boundaries. What are the types for the plate boundaries? Right. First one is convergent boundary. Convergent boundary is nothing but here the plate moves towards each other and sometimes a plate skips under another. Right. This location where the sinking of a plate occurs is called a subduction zone. Okay. Right. Next one is divergent boundary. Here the plates pull away from each other as magma pushes up from the mantle. Third one is a transform boundary. Here the plates slide horizontally past each other. Right. So there are three types. One is convergent, divergent and transform. The next heading goes to movements of continental plates. Due to the lateral compressional forces, the plates are forced to move upwards and downwards. This is called as folding. This is called as folding. Okay. Mountains formed by folding are called fold mountains. Mountains formed by folding are called fold mountains. The process of folding creates low-fee mountain. I mean the low-fee is nothing but highly. Okay, very peak high. Highly mountain ranges such as the Himalayas and the Alps. Himalayan mountains and the Alps ranges. The movement of plates also create stress and tension in the rocks, causing them to stretch and crack. This is called as faulting. I mean creation, another one is cracking. Cracking is called as faulting. The Great Rift Valley of East Africa is a notable example for the process of faulting. The process of folding and faulting together with volcanoes and earthquakes continually reshape the continents and seafloor. Okay. According to the plate tectonics, the plates are in a constant motion with an average rate of few centimeters per year. The movement might seem slow, but over millions of years, the plates and the continents riding on them move a long way. For example, about 250 million years ago, the Indian plate was a part of the Gondwana land. One is Angara, another is Gondwana, okay, which comprised of modern Africa, Australia, Antarctica and South America. Approximately 140 million years ago, the Indian plate broke away from the ancient supercontinent Gondwana, right, and began moving north and collided with the Asia. The collision with the Eurasian plate along the boundary between India and Nepal formed the Eurasianic belt that created the Tibetan plateau and the mighty Himalayan mountains. Okay. Then the next one heading goes to earthquake. So earthquakes are generally caused by the sudden vibrations in the earth crust, which is spread outward in all directions as waves from the source of disturbance. Okay. The point of origin of an earthquake is called focus. Right? Focus. The point of origin of an earthquake is called focus, which generates a series of elastic waves actually. Epicenter is a point on the earth's surface that lies directly above the focus. The impact of earthquake is felt the most of the epicenter. Right? Next, from the earthquake, what are the waves may be caused for them? First one is seismic waves. Seismic waves, the earthquakes generate a seismic waves. The nature, force and speed of these seismic waves depend on the nature of the medium through which it passes. Accordingly, there are three major types of waves. Okay, what are the three major types of waves? First one is primary or P waves. Actually, this is called as primary or P waves. That is the first one. It's the fastest of all the earthquake waves and the first to reach the epicenter. That's the first wave. That should go to reach the first to reach the epicenter. These waves pass through solids, liquids and gases, either through push or pull with an average velocity of 5.3 km per second to 10.6 km per second. That's the first wave, primary waves. Secondary or S wave travel only through solids. These transfer waves shake the ground perpendicular to the direction in which they propagate. The average velocity of this wave is 1 km per second to 8 km per second. Got it? The third one is surface waves. That's the third one, or which is called as L waves, are similar to the P waves, but they travel primarily along the ground surface. These waves travel comparatively slower and are the most destructive waves also. The average velocity of these waves are 1 km per second to 5 km per second. Okay, right. Let us recall the point what we are seeing from this lesson. First one is rock cycle. Rock cycle. Already just we are seeing that there are three types of the rocks. What are they? First one is igneous rocks. Second one is sedimentary rocks. Third one is metamorphic rocks. I already told you, igneous rocks is nothing but the primary rock, or that is called as parent rock. From the igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks is created that, and from the sedimentary rocks, then the metamorphic rocks are created that. Okay. So this is called as rock cycle. Primary to secondary, secondary to tertiary. So generally, it is a continuous process. Okay, it's a continuous process, and also all rocks transferred from one form to another. That means I already told you, from parent rock, that is which one is parent rock? Igneous rocks to sedimentary rocks, and then sedimentary rocks to metamorphic rocks. Okay. Next heading is geomorphic process. Geomorphic process. From this, thus we are seeing that formation of the landform and deformation of the landform. Formation, creation of the new landscapes actually. Okay, structure of the land or the topography of the land, creation of the new landscapes. Deformation is nothing but destruction of the what that is already created for the landscape. That was destruction. This is creation, this is destruction. Okay, these are the two processes. The formation is done by the internal process, which is called as endogenetic. Okay, endogenetic process, which is called as internal process, that should go to create the formation of the landscape. And then deformation of landforms is nothing but that is called as external process. Right? External process is nothing but that is called as exogenetic process. This is creation and what is the destruction. See, all this by using the these forces that was done by water, running water and glacier, and what is it, wind, and finally waves, etc. These are the things, or these are the factors which are helpful for the process of internal and external process. Plate tectonics. See the movement of the plates. I already told you the earth contains or consists of lot of the huge slabs. The huge slabs can be divided into major plates and minor plates. See, these plates may be merged or collided together to form the new continent actually. Okay, million of years ago, this process was happened further. Due to the movement of the plates, now we are having the continents. Okay, major continent and minor continent further. Next one is types of the plate boundaries. Types of the plate boundaries. There are three types. One is convergent, next one is divergent, next one is transform. Okay, convergent boundary is nothing but it should goes to move each other. I mean the plates move each other or sink one plate under another. Right? This is called as convergent boundary movement. Divergent boundary movement is nothing but the plates pull away. I mean the example is magma. Already just we have seen the concept is magma. This is the liquid which is hot molten liquid that is available inside the rock structure. Just we have seen that. Okay, see get any of the pull means what will happen that automatically that the rock may be that should go to display for any of the crack or the crack will happen for that. With the help of the crack, the molten hot molten magma that comes out from the rock surface that should go to display the what is it lava. Okay, and then the third one is a transform boundary movement. In this movement the plates slide horizontally. The plates slide. So from the first movement the plates are moved each other or sink one under another. Next movement that all the plates are pull away. Okay, pull away, and then the third movement that the plates may be what is it slide horizontally, right? And then the movement of the plates. This is types of the plate boundaries. And next one is movement of the plates. There is two movements. One is called as folding, another is called as what is faulting. Once again, folding and faulting. Folding is nothing but this movement may be upwards or the downwards. Upwards or the downwards. And then faulting, I mean this with the help of this folding only, just we are having the Himalayan mountains, which is called as fold mountain. That is the youngest mountain in the world also. Himalayan mountains. That is the best example for what is a folding. And then faulting. This is nothing but it should go to create the stress or tension or it should go to crack the mountains further. Okay, this is construction, this is destruction, right? And the next heading just we are seeing the earthquake. That's I already told you, you know very well. Earthquake is nothing but that's the largest vibrations of the earth surface, isn't it? Okay, certain vibration of the earth surface that should go to create the lot of the destruction in the for the people, society, right? Or for any country or any place for that. From the earthquake there are three waves have to be created. That first one is primary waves, which is called as P waves. Next one is secondary waves, which is called as S, and surface waves, which is called as L. There are three types of waves for that. From the primary waves, I mean the primary waves is the fastest one. It is the fastest one, right? It passes through solid, liquid and gases. Okay, from the earthquake, the primary waves that should goes to pass through the solid or liquid or gases for that. The speed of the primary wave is from 5.3 km per second to 10.6 km per second, right? And the next one is secondary waves, which is called as S waves. This actually primary waves that passes maybe the solid or liquid or gases, but the secondary waves of the earthquake that should goes to pass through only for the what is the solid only, right? But this speed may be vary from the primary to secondary. That's 1 km to 8 km per second further. Got it? And the third one is surface waves, which is called as L waves. There it should goes to travel only for the ground surface. Actually this is the destructive waves. Actually not for the primary, not for the secondary, because this is what happening in the various only for the ground surface, right? And this is the great destructive waves in the from the earthquake also. The speed of the surface L waves is nothing but 1 km to 5 km per second. This is the highly destructive waves in the from the earthquake further. Okay, students. So far just we have seen the structure of the earth, and then four spheres of the earth, structure of the earth, crust, mantle and core, and then the geomorphical process, rock cycle, right? And then the types of the plate movement, plate boundaries, as well as movement of the earthquake, I mean the earthquake, and types of the waves also. The remaining headings we will see in the next class further. Thank you and all. We will meet later.